Hello and welcome to my Flosstube number 48. My name is Esther and I'm a moody stitcher. This is my first regular Flosstube in a very long time, and yes, I have missed it. But at some time it just felt like too big a task, which is the reason why I stopped doing it for a while. But now I'm back, and this time I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm stitching less now than I used to, because I also took up knitting. So my updates will be a bit shorter and therefore much easier for me to do. And honestly, that feels good. Going forward, I'm planning two things. First, I would like to make 4 WIP parades a year. 3 where I show what I have been working on in between my WIP parades, and then 1 big yearly overview. In between those WIP parades, I'm planning to do regular Flosstubes. I'm aiming to upload a Flosstube about every other week, unless life interferes. You never know about that, right? So today is a regular Flosstube. Since my WIP parade, I have stitched 3,253 stitches altogether. And I also finished some FFOs, or finished some projects, so they are now FFOs. I have 5 fully finished objects, but as you can see, they are very tiny. They are the mini cats by Doreen Jones. They are actually the first Doreen Jones that I've ever stitched. Usually her style isn't my thing. Her patterns very often have a lot of back stitching, and those back stitches are very often kind of awkward to stitch, in my opinion. But these, they were so cute. I just had to stitch them, and by the way, there wasn't that much back stitching. Now I'm going to show you. This is the first one, the second one, and the third one. I find them very, very cute. And the fourth one, and the fifth one, like this. And yeah, it's upside down, because I think this is the one who's supposed to be upside down. The observant viewer might have noticed that these are not all perfectly centered in the frame, and that's correct. That's what happens when cutting straight isn't your strong suit anymore, thanks to arthritis. I finished these a while ago, the stitching, but now I finally fully finished them as well. So these were my 5 FFOs. Let's move on to the FOs, the finished objects. I have 3. The first one, actually these 2 are both finishes or projects that I was reminded of when I did my WIP parade. And I thought to myself, Esther, pull yourself together. And I did. This first one, it looks like this. I will put up a picture so you can see how it should look, because this is not the way it's supposed to look. It was supposed to have a border along the bottom as well, a border like this one, and also a lot of different geometric borders all around, as you can see in the picture. But I was getting tired of it and I just wanted to finish it, so I decided this is going to make a pillow like this. And I'm very happy with that decision. I stitched it on 14 count Ada, and I used the cord for DMC. So this was the first one. This next one, it's a Danish phrase. I will write down, can you see it? Yeah, I will write down below what it means in English. Actually, this one didn't have much left to go. It was just very hard for me to get it finished. But then again, I pulled myself together. Basically, I banned myself from stitching on anything else until this one was done. That kind of thread usually doesn't work on me, but hey, this time I was lucky, and it's done. If I have a frame that fits this one, I'll put it in a frame. Otherwise, I will probably make it into a pillow, like the other one. I forgot to say this one I stitched 345 stitches on, and this one I stitched 441 stitches. So as you can see, not that many stitches left in them. This one is stitched on 16 count Sketek. It's a printed fabric from Sew It All, from back when I could still buy stuff in the UK. Those were the days. And now my new start. This next one is a SAF, start and finish, because I finished it the same day I started it. I'm on the SpeedyXStitcher's Patreon. And a few days ago, the first of 2 or 3 April patterns were released. And, well, what can I say? I just had to stitch it. So I did. This is called Morning Star Flame. This is called Morning Star Flail. And it's less than 600 stitches, so it was possible to stitch it in one evening. I think I'm going to put this one in a frame. The second pattern has been released now. I think it's a bloody gauntlet or something like that, but I'm not, a bloody hand or something like that. I'm not going to stitch that one. This is from the Relics of the Dark Ages, she calls this mini-series. Anyway, this is stitched on 16 count Ada called Dirty. And now another new start. Madame Chantilly, her summer owls. I have already stitched her Christmas owls and her Halloween owls. I have also started the winter owls as well as the spring owls, so why not also start the summer owls? I found out that I really love her owls. They are just so cute. Actually, I had picked another fabric for this project, but then I realized that the winter as well as the spring owls are both on hand-dyed fabric, so my summer owls must be that as well. So I picked this light blue hand-dyed fabric, and this is how far I got. I stitched 278 stitches since my WIP Parade. I started it after my WIP Parade. I think that's what I want to say about this one. Another new start. I have quite a few of those this time. This is a part of a kind of a series, you could say. I did stitch 3 other countries in this series: Italy, Greece, as well as Denmark. And this is the United Kingdom. These 4 countries are my favorite countries. Actually, Germany also belongs to that group, but I did look at the pattern of Germany, and I found it very boring compared to the others, so I decided not to stitch it. But this is, as I said, United Kingdom, and all of these projects I am stitching on 18 count vintage marble from Zweigart. And I only stitched 190 stitches up so far. It has more than 10,000 stitches. This next one I had in my patterns for years. It's from Cross Stitcher January of 2021, and I have been wanting to stitch it ever since. As you can see, the original design includes New Year's fireworks, but I have decided to leave those out, and I will just stitch the London skyline. If you did not see my WIP parade, you might wonder what all these new starts are about. Let me explain. I have a so-called 60 years challenge because August this year I will turn 60 years old. And my goal is to start 60 projects from my last birthday before my next one. So from my 59th till my 60th birthday, I'm going to start 60 projects. 10 of them will be knitting projects. I have already started all those, so no problems there. But I'm a bit behind on the cross-stitch projects because now we are already in the middle of April. And I still need more than 20 new cross-stitch projects. So you will probably be seeing quite a lot of new starts from me in the coming months. Well, anyway, I'm stitching this with Ada 310 and 314. I'm stitching it on, I think it's 16 count Ada. And you can recognize the gherkin as well as Tower Bridge. And since my WIP parade, I have stitched 327 stitches on it. So maybe I should do it like this. I think this will look absolutely wonderful. I'm going to frame it once it's done, so I can have the London skyline on my wall all the time. And it's called Bright Sparks, by the way. These next ones I forgot to write in the notes. These are also from Cross Stitcher magazine. I already finished these two and the hedgehog, and then I have started this one. It's the squirrel, and down here I have started, I call it the avenue. I will put up pictures so you can see how they will look. They are stitched on 16 count easy count, and I will put down here how many stitches I did on them. I think to recall I did some 200 and something on this and some 100 and something on this. But they are not in my notes, so it's a bit hard for me to remember. Anyway, these were all my new starts. The last project is a WIP that I love. This is called Colorful Casas by Emma Condon, or Stitchrovia. This was in a Cross Stitcher magazine. And when I saw it, I just thought, I have to stitch this one. It's so beautiful. And I have been working quite a lot on it. It's on I have been working quite a lot on it. It's on 16 count Ada, printed Ada, called Isotopus, also from Sew It All. And this is how far I got. And since my WIP parade, I have been working on all this. and I did 1125 stitches on it. The reason why I love stitching this so much is because of the vibrant colors. It makes me so happy to look at it. I think Emma Congdon, she's so very good at creating these shadow effects. Like for example here. I find it amazing. There's a less than 30 colors in it, I think, and yet it's just so vibrant. And I can't wait to put it up on my bathroom wall. Yeah, I really love this project. So this was my last WIP, or last project to show you. Then I have a little bit of haul. If you have watched my Flosstube before, you will know that for quite some time I have been dyeing my own fabric, because here in Denmark it's not that common to stitch on hand-dyed fabric. Therefore, you cannot get hold of it unless you buy it from another country. And I find that it's cheaper to dye it myself. And so I do. For the last couple of years I've been using acid dye, and it's actually not for cotton like Aida or even weave, but it worked. It does work. The colors might be a bit more faded, but it still works on Aida. But now I was restocking some of my acid colors, because I'm also dyeing yarn, and I do need the acid colors for the yarn. But then I found a new shop called Webertante in Germany, and I found these reactive dyes that are actually meant for cotton. It's a quite different way to dye, so I'm very curious how the results will be. I think I will start with just dyeing one piece. Anyway, I bought some of the colors to have a good start. So I have bought a blue violet and butterscotch, rust brown, soft orange, turquoise, wisteria, scarlet. I'm looking very much forward to trying to dye with this scarlet, because so far I never succeeded in dyeing my fabric red. Maybe it will happen now. Let's see. And then a neutral gray and nutmeg. So these are my reactive dyes. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they will look. And of course I will keep you posted here on my Flosstube. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope you'll join me again next time. And until then, may your threads always run smoothly.